Play call. Five receivers. Wolf in the shotgun. Keeps Garza with him. Straight back to Wolf. Passes, and his receiver just fell down. But did he catch it? We'll wait and see. They say that he said he did. No, the officials say no, he trapped it. We'll see what they say. No. So it's a second down and 15. Good try. Good try, Martinez. That's Andres Martinez on the reception. Tried to sell that to the officials. Good work. And here you go, you'll see. And, oh, yeah, you can see the ball bounce right into his arms. And that was a good sales job. I'll give you credit. Yes, you saw the replay, it just bounced right into his arms. Oh. Second down and 15. Ball is still at the 25 with the Vikes. We've got timeout called by the Vikings here. So with just seconds remaining here in the first half, it's the Rivera Raiders 14, the Pace Vikings 7. 15 seconds remaining, second down and 15, ball at 25 for the Vikings. Ball at their own 25. Wolf sets with Garza, four receivers. Oh, Wolf handles that very well on a high snap. Again, he wants to go deep, and it's going to be picked off again. And it just came right into the hands of the receiver. Great coverage that time, and he'll be brought down, but that will eat up some of that clock, and the clock, of course, will stop on the change of the possession. The ball was picked off by Chris Height, a senior defensive back. And let me tell you, the Height brothers, all of them have done a great job in playing for Rivera over the years, and they've shown some great defensive backs. Wolf back to pass, drops straight back, wants to get a man going deep, and he just did not throw it to him. And Chris Height in perfect position, gets across midfield down into Viking territory inside the 40-yard line. And that's where the Raiders will take it, 1st and 10 at the Viking 41-yard line. Rather the Viking 39 with 2 seconds remaining, so it'll be one play unless there, of course, is a defensive penalty, and a half cannot end on a defensive penalty. We don't see it very often. Now we've got a timeout called by the Raiders. So we have 2 seconds remaining here in the first half. The Raiders lead the Vikings by a score of 14-7. 2 seconds left in the half. Raiders with the ball at the Pace 39. They have one play. Raiders lead 14-7. And they're going to put everybody up on the line of scrimmage except for a couple of the receivers. And looks like Gonzalez is going to throw as far as he can towards the end zone. And it's going to be picked off. And he may go all the way because there's nobody there to stop him. And he breaks out of that tackle and finally brought down, though. Oh, that Nestor Trevino saved the day. That was a great pickoff by Andres Martinez. And, I mean, they had everybody down the field, but the half will come to an end with the Raiders leading the Vikings by a score of 14-7. You'll see it here. Gonzalez just goes deep, and Martinez just picks it off. And you can see he does not have a whole lot of white shirts to get through, and he almost got away. If Trevino had not picked him off right there, he might have. And Juan Garza goes out for the Vikings. And I believe that Rivera will take the ball and receive this. Yes, they will. And the Vikings will kick off. So Rivera gets back the ball first. And they had an opportunity to put some more points up just in the final couple of minutes, but just could not connect. So the Pace Vikings took over, and they could not do anything else. And we had the half come to an end, 14-7. Turnovers have been a big part of the game tonight. Raiders have scored one of their touchdowns on a turnover, and the Vikings scored their touchdown following a turnover. And then the Raiders scored their second touchdown on a long pass. So that's how things have been going tonight. And I'm afraid it's one of those games where it'll come down to the last minute. And that'll be exciting for all of us as viewers. Ready to get this ball game underway here. Start the second half at Sam's Memorial Stadium. BISD Friday Night Football. I'm Larry Janucki with you tonight. Glad to be here for our next to last regular season game of the year. Take deep down around the goal line. Looking for a seam, breaks out in the open, and finally dragged down from behind, but puts the Raiders in good shape as they bring that ball back. Ball carried by Enrique Resendes. He gets the ball to the 35-yard line. That's where the Raiders will start, 1st and 10. Greg Larson, the offensive coordinator. I'll check that mark. It looks like it's the 37-yard line. Greg Larson, the offensive coordinator. So he's kind of a sleep shotgun again. 5 receivers. Goes to his running back. Gets the bell. This time. Gets back out to, looks like the 37. Right at the line of scrimmage. Down, short gain. Nestor Trevino on the reception for the Raiders. Just underway here. We've got 10:58 remaining here in this third quarter. Raiders looking at a third down and about 4. Ball is at the 40-yard line. In the shotgun again. Linebackers back into coverage. Down the field he goes, and it's going to be caught, but it's going to be short, I believe, of that first down. We'll see where they spot the ball. Pass was caught by Trevino, Nestor Trevino. And they call for a timeout. Ball is spotted at the 43-yard line. They want to take a look and see if this is a first down indeed. From my vantage point, it's difficult to tell. It is a first down. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. They have the ball at their own 42-yard line, 1st and 10. There we go, got it all set. 1st and 10, ball at the Raider 43. Opening drive here of the second half. Raiders lead 14-7 over the Vikings of Pace High School. Sets up behind the center. Now they're going to go ahead and punt, they say. I'm sorry, it wasn't a first down. I thought it was, and it wasn't, so he's going to go set up and punt, and it's going to go deep down into Pace territory where it'll be down at the 14-yard line. 1st and 10. Ball for the Vikings at their own 14-yard line. Gives them a chance to get back in this ball game. Vikings have not been able to completely untrack their offense. Their big play tonight came when their running back, Alexis Garza, broke a 62-yard run and was brought down at the 1-yard line, but scored on the next play on a great open field run. Into the eye, Wolf pitches out to Garza. Garza over the tackle. Just not there. Gets to the 15-yard line. Picks up a yard, 2nd down and 9. Again, as you have seen, Garza's one of those backs that you give it to him 10 times, and 9 times out of that 10, he won't get a yard, maybe 3 or 4, but it's that 10th time when he breaks one for 61. That's the one you have to watch. From the eye, Wolf goes to Garza again. Garza wants to skirt that corner on the right side this time. They like to run that sweep, but it's just no going tonight at all with the Raider defense. They have just keyed on him most of the night tonight. Loses a yard, gets back to the 14, so it'll bring up a 3rd down and 10 ball from there. We've got a pace player down, and that was Garza, and his helmet came off, and the trainer's talking to him for a second, and he doesn't want to come out, I'm sure. And what they'll do, he'll have to come out now because they stopped play, so he has to come out for at least one play. They're all competitors. Nobody wants to come out. When you get a chance to play, you want to play. Certainly do understand that. Bad news for District 32-5A. Mr. Garza will be back again next year. He's a junior. 3rd and long for the Vikings. 3rd and 10. We'll see what Wolf can come up with this time. Started having a little more success in the passing lanes in the 2nd quarter. Shotgun with 4 receivers. Oh, the Raiders came across, and they're going to, they're going to get a free play, and that's what's going to happen. The Raiders came across, and Wolf kept the play going. He tried to get the ball to his receiver, but it just wasn't to be. Offsides. So to bring up a 3rd down and 5 as they move the ball to the 20-yard line. And you'll see here he had a free play and just underthrew. Well, actually, he didn't underthrow him. He threw it a little wide, but his receiver, Martinez, had just slipped on that surface, which is surprising. Must be getting a little damp there for some reason or other on this night. 3rd and 5, shotgun, 4 receivers. Wolf now sets up behind the center instead of the shotgun. Straight ahead to Garza. Garza just doesn't have much place to go. All those white shirts just swarm him under. And he'll get back, I think, barely to the line of scrimmage is where they'll mark it. So to bring up a 4th down and 5. Ball remains at the 20 of the Vikings. They'll kick it away to the Raiders. 8:03 remaining here in this 3rd quarter. As you can see, Vikings on top 14-7. Or rather, the Raiders on top 14-7. Vikes will punt. Nice high punt. Fair catch call for right at midfield, and Martin Carrion gets it down at the 49. Raiders get good field position, 1st and 10 at their opponent's 49-yard line. Both these teams have had some success along the airwaves tonight. And you can see the punt going away, fair catch called for. Good position. 7:38 remaining here in this 1st quarter. Vikings will call their first play, or rather the Raiders will call their first play. Gonzalez sets up behind the center into that I formation, pitches back. Esquivel just keeps going straight ahead, hits his man. Down inside the 45 to the 43, pickup of 6, 2nd down and 4 now. Ball in Viking territory. Raiders want to use clock and score points. And as long as their offense is on the field, the pace offense is not. I know that all sounds very simplistic, but it's really easier said than done. In the eye, Esquivel nowhere to go this time. Boy, those green shirts just eat him up alive and drop him for a yard loss. Back to the 44-yard line. Brings up a 3rd down now and 5. Big defensive play that time by the Vikings.
Third down and 5, Raiders.
Ball just inside the 45-yard line of the Vikings. I formation again, 2 receivers. Fakes to his back, rolls to his right. Gonzalez pumps and has to keep it and picks up a couple down to the 42, but he'll be way short of that first down. So it'll bring up a 4th down and 3. Ball down to the 42-yard line. Raiders will punt the ball away. You can see here he just had no place to go. Both these ball clubs have been shutting down those sweeps and a lot of those sweeps and a lot of those quarterback draws and keepers. It's hard to run wide against these teams. Okay, a sideline warning by the officials against the paced Vikings, their first warning of the game.
Back in punt formation for the Raiders, number 80, Martin Carrion, set to receive for the Vikings, number 80, Curtis.
Raiders want to use the clock. Keep that lead, they'll punt. Oh, a high snap, gets away from the punter, and he tries to get away. It's Martin Carrion, he's going to keep it, he's going to be dropped. Oh, back at the 35-yard line, 36-yard line of the Raiders. Oh, man, that was just an awful break for the Raiders and a big break for the Vikings to get them back in. Boy, the Vikings needed something to get jump-started, and that was it. And you'll see the replay here. You can see that was just way over his head, a bad snap, and Carrion tried to get back around and tried to run it if he could. If he could have found a little bit of braking out there, he would have gone. But it's 1st and 10. Ball is at the 37-yard line of the Raiders. Vikes on the move. Garza kicks it out to the right, squeezes through a hole down to the 40-yard line. We'll see where they're marking his progress. But just go for the juggler right away. Garza gets inside the 30-yard line. Just outside it, rather. Picks up 7. 2nd down and 3. Ball just outside the 30-yard line of the Raiders. Into the eye, 2 receivers left side. Pitch to Garza. Garza kicks out to the left side on that sweep again. They're picking up yardage, get it down inside. They score a fumble. The ball just broke loose and popped into the hands of the Raiders, and we'll see what they say. I thought he was down. I think they're going to discuss it for a second, but the officials are pointing towards the Raiders. And yes, that's going to be the call. The Raiders recovered a fumble. The Vikings just putting themselves in a hole here, and you can watch and see that ball just squirts out, and it's picked up by the Raiders, and they'll keep possession of it down about their own 25-yard line. That's where they'll have it, 1st and 10. Boy, the Raiders dodge a bullet there, and the Vikings miss a golden opportunity to tie this game. We're midway through the 3rd quarter. 14-7 Raiders on top. Raiders line up in that eye. Pitch back. Goes to the tailback, and he made nothing that time. I mean, nothing. That was Javier Hinojosa on the carry, and he didn't have a prayer. Boy, those linemen came through and just shut him down. He'll take a loss. Back to the 22-yard line, 2nd and 13. This Viking defense has really stepped up here. Raiders in that eye. Gonzalez sets behind center. Fakes to the running back, his tailback. Hits his man. No, just overthrew it. He had him wide open. They had the play that they wanted, but he overthrew him, and he couldn't handle it, just a little too tall. So it falls incomplete and brings up a 3rd down and 13. Gonzalez has completed some big passes tonight, but he's had a few missed and he's had some dropped. 3rd down and 13, ball still in the 22-yard line of the Raiders. All of a sudden, these two offenses becoming just a little sloppy. Gonzalez sets back into the shotgun with 4 receivers. Keeps the ball, wants to go deep, and he's got a man wide open, and it's going to be caught, and he's going to get away. It's Martin Cardillon who just spun away from his defender and goes down the sidelines and scores a touchdown for the Raiders. And the pass was actually a bit underthrown, but Cardillon was in a better position to adjust to the ball, caught it, and then spun away from his tackler, stayed inbounds, and scored. And that, folks, is a 78-yarder. Look at it here. You'll see. And he just comes back for it, and you can see he just stayed in bounds, just barely. And he gets down the sidelines and just outruns everybody and goes in for the score. So the Raiders add to their lead, 20-7 here in the third quarter. Extra point to come. A couple of big, huge touchdown passes tonight by the Raiders. That kick will be good. So the Raiders increase their lead now with 3:58 remaining in the third quarter. Rivera 21, Pace 7. We have 3:58 remaining here in this third quarter as the Raiders lead here by a score of 14-7. Or rather 21-7. Boy, this game has just been a game of big plays by both ball clubs. Turnovers and big plays. Wow. Raiders have taken advantage of those Pace turnovers. Now remember, Pace has come back from worse than this and won ball games this season, so they're not out by a long shot. Raiders kick off. Ball taken at the 5-yard line across the 10-20. Looking for a seam and knocked out about the 22-yard line. And that's where the Vikings will start 1st and 10 here with just under 4 minutes remaining here in this third quarter. Well, it was 88 yards for the Raiders. Let's see what the Vikings can do here. You see the kickoff behind that wedge, kicks it out and tripped up at the 22-yard line. And that's where they start 1st and 10. Back into that shotgun, 4 receivers. Wolf sets back with Garza. Looks down the sidelines, got his man across to the 27-yard line, run out of bounds there, but it'll be complete. And for the Vikings, the clock will stop on that. Pickup of 5, 2nd down and 5, ball at the 27 of the Vikes. Vikings would like to move this in, put some points on the board now. This possession, they need to do something and need to get some points on the board. And they go straight back. It's going to be a pass downfield by Wolf, finds Martinez. Martinez wide open. Just finds those little holes in the coverage and gets himself open between the defenders, but it picks up a 1st down. And Wolf found Martinez at the 43-yard line. Pickup of 16, 1st and 10. Back here, Wolf, boy, his defender fell down. That's part of the reason. But Martinez had good position on that. Only he could have caught that ball. Vikings on the move. This is a very offensive, successful team. Shotgun again. Wolf drops back to pass. Downfield. And boy, Martinez just could not hang on to it. He was out there and heading towards the end zone, but it'll fall incomplete, bringing up a 2nd down and 10. Ball remains at the Viking 43-yard line. KBSD TV, instructional TV at BISD. We are involved with the media technology program at Porter High School. These young people from Porter High School help us with these ball games and help do things for us. And one of the things that you're doing is they're doing our technical directing. And that ball was knocked away, as you can see on the replay. But they also give us a hand. They're my spotters. Wolf escapes one rusher and hits his man. Oh, and he hung on to it. A good catch and an excellent throw that time to Curtis Hahn. And on gets to the 36-yard line of the Raiders, and they'll have it 1st and 10. That's how quickly these Vikings can score on you. Good catch by On. We'll see what they call. There's a penalty. Okay, defensive hold. Defensive holding, but that's only 10 yards and an automatic 1st down. And they are much further along than that. 1st and 10, ball at the Raider 36. Vikings knocking on the door again. 4 receivers in the shotgun. Gives it to Garza. No, not this time. Boy, they have just shut that middle down. Garza has a hard time getting through those holes. He broke one big one tonight, but that's all he's been able to do. These Raiders have really prepared for him. No gain on the play, 2nd and 10. Ball remains at the Raider 36. Raiders have used a couple of big plays. They lead 21-7 here with just minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Shotgun again. Wolf to pass. Goes to the end zone. Throws into deep coverage. And it'll be out of bounds and just out of the reach of his receiver. Boy, he drew triple coverage that time. They were looking downfield for Martinez. So it brings up a 3rd down and 10. Ball still at the 36-yard line. You can look and see Wolf really put the air underneath that ball and was just a little too far for his receiver. His receiver ran underneath it. It was Gabriel Gonzalez. Or I'm sorry, it was I believe Andres Martinez. Still in the shotgun on the 3rd down and 10. Wolf to take the snap. Going again, hits his man. Oh, and it's going to be picked off again. What a great play that time. He tried to find Curtis On, but Javier Vasquez, a defensive back, just laid back on that ball, and Wolf didn't put a whole lot onto it, and he just picked it off, as you'll see right here. Watch him. He just kind of lays back and waits for that ball. There it goes, and it comes, and he picks it off, makes his time perfect, and he gets the ball, and the Raiders will again dodge another bullet. 1st and 10 on another big turnover by the Vikings. And they get the Raiders get the ball at their own 30-yard line. Boy, these Vikings have had all kinds of problems with turnovers tonight. That's really been the difference. Gonzalez sets in the shotgun with 4 receivers. Keeps it, quarterback draw, straight ahead, breaks out of that linebacking crew there at the 30-yard line and gets out across to the 35. And he'll pick up 5, 2nd down and 5. Gonzalez doesn't run the ball too badly, and he's a good little passer. I don't think he has quite the arm as some of the other quarterbacks do, but he's accurate and he knows where he wants to put it. 2nd and 5, ball at the 35 of the Raiders. Esquivel sets on his left. Gives it to Esquivel. No, they were waiting. I mean, it's like they read that one and we're in the huddle. Esquivel gets back to the 30. Where are they spotting? I think it's the 30. The line of scrimmage just outside. So it'll be 2nd down, the 3rd down rather, and a long 5. Ball inside the 35-yard line. Minute left here in this 3rd quarter.
3rd quarter, Raiders.
Again, Raiders show the spread formation. Shotgun. Gonzalez again straight ahead. Esquivel, no. Well, he breaks out of that one this time. Boy, how he did it, I don't know, because he was jammed up in a huge pile, but squirmed his way out and gets out to the 43-yard line. That'll be good enough for a 1st down. Good run that time by Esquivel, because it looked to me like he was down. I lost sight of him. And you'll see it right here. He just bounces off and squeezes out and just keeps going and gets out to the 43, 1st and 10. Ticking down the last few seconds here of the 3rd quarter. This may be the last play. .25 and counting. This will probably be the last play of this quarter. Nope, we got a timeout called here. Have a timeout on the board here. in the late in the third quarter with about 25 seconds remaining. It's the, or 18 seconds remaining. It's the Rivera Raiders 21, Pace Vikings 7. 18 seconds remaining in the third quarter. The first timeout called here in this second half. This is called by the Raiders. They have a 1st and 10, ball at their own 43. Shotgun again. 4 receivers, man goes in motion. They'll put 4 receivers on the right side. Fake, it's going to be a keeper. And Gonzalez goes around the left end across the midfield and down to the 42-yard line. That was just a naked bootleg. Really wasn't even a bootleg. It was just a quarterback fake to the tailback as he came through. Then he kept it and just took off on the left side. But it gets big yardage. It gets down inside Pace territory for 1st and 10. You'll see it right here. He fakes, then keeps it. And they weren't expecting that at all. He gets some good blocking downfield by his receivers. And he gets down to about the 41-yard line. 1st and 10 from the Pace 41. And that's how the quarter will come to an end. That will be the last play. And our score here after 3 quarters of play is the Rivera Raiders 21 and the Pace Vikings 7. 4 receivers set in the shotgun. Man goes in motion right. Gonzalez asks for the snap. Gives it to Esquivel. Esquivel tripped up. Back at the 44-yard line. Joseph Signs on that play. All back at the, we'll call it the 43. We'll call it a loss of 2, a long 2. And make it a 2nd down at 12. That Pace defense, though, has managed to help itself and keep itself in this ball game. Situations like this, they've stepped up and made the plays. Shotgun again with 4 receivers. Gonzalez drops straight back, going deep with his pass, and he's going to have Carrion is going to catch it and go down the sidelines, and he's going to go in for the touchdown. He just laid it perfectly into his hands, and he was in double coverage, and he will get down and make that catch. What a great pass that was that time by Gonzalez as he hit Carrion coming down the sideline in full stride. Look back here, you can see it. There he goes, and he hits him in full stride. And there was even some pushing going on, and I'm surprised. Well, let's see if they say he ran out of bounds. We'll see. I don't think so. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. They say he was out of bounds at the 10-yard line. There was also some pass interference because he was hit before that ball got to him. I mean, he was just pushed, but he still made the catch. So it's 1st and goal. Ball is at the 10-yard line. Shotgun again. Gonzalez with the snap. Straight ahead to his running back. His tailback is in there. Just keeps going. Esquivel runs over people. Just keeps driving forward. Gets down to the 1-yard line. 1st and goal from there. 2nd and goal, rather. Vikings put this one up. It's going to be a tough night for these, or rather, if the Raiders put this up, it's going to be a tough night for the Vikings. Because they'll be down. They're going to have to score 3 times, 3 touchdowns, just to tie. Into the eye. Tailback, Esquivel. Oh, he was just buried. Good rush that time from that defensive line of the Vikings. He was just buried. And he'll get back and he'll lose a couple of yards. They mark the ball back at the 3. So he'll lose 2. It'll be a 3rd down and goal with the ball right there at the 3-yard line. Raiders want 6 here. They don't want to have to settle for 3 because they know how potent the Viking offense can be and how difficult they are to beat and keep down here in this 4th quarter. Vikings have come back to win a couple of big ball games tonight, or this year. I formation again. Gonzalez calls the signals. Just a little quick pass, and it's going to be caught. Martin Carrion, who got him down here, takes the pass in and scores a touchdown for the Raiders. And the Raiders add to that lead. They lead here by a score of 27-7, and the clock's ticking away. And the Vikings are going to find themselves in some problems. They've got to go score on every possession from now on. Vikings had a 4-game winning streak against these Raiders. That's in jeopardy tonight. Cardione will kick that, and it's going to be good. So the Rivera Raiders lead the Pace Vikings here in the fourth quarter. Our score is 28-7 with 9:44 remaining in this ball game. 9:44 remaining here in this ball game. Raiders just scored and now have a 3-touchdown lead, 28-7 over the Pace Vikings. And the clock now becomes the #1 problem for the Vikings because they've got to come back and score 3 touchdowns to tie and make sure that the Raiders don't score any more. These are big possessions now for the Vikings especially. All taken at the 7-yard line. Martinez across the 15 to the 20. Dances around, finds a hole, running brought down from behind. The White Shirts will bury him there, but they'll start in their own territory. They're going to have to put that offense into high gear now. Put some points up very, very quickly. Martinez takes that ball deep. Looks for a seam to the right. Finds a spot. Crosses the 20. Out across the 25 and run out of bounds. That's where we will start here with about 9:40 remaining in this ball game. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Vikings at their own 29-yard line. Shotgun, of course. Wolf to pass. Hits his man wide open. Oh, boy, just flipped him straight up in the air. But a good catch that time by Curtis Hahn. Good pass by Wolf. That's how quickly they can get this ball going. Spot the ball at midfield. That'll be a pickup of 21. You can see that, just a perfect pattern. And he just flies through the air and does a somersault. Back again to live action, down to the 45-yard line. Pickup of 5, 2nd and 5, ball at the 45 of the Raiders now. Vikings have picked up the pace. They know they have to score quickly. Still in that shotgun. Wolf looking for a spot, looking for a receiver, and that's going to be caught. Caught by On again, down on the inside. Ball is down to the 34-yard line. That'll be a 1st down, I believe. If it isn't, it's awfully close. You can see here the pass was right on the money. Good coverage, though, by the Raiders. I mean, that pass was just perfect and hit On right in between the numbers. They'll wait for the officials here. We'll wait until they get the thing set. Had a penalty called. It's going to be against the Raiders. Oh, it's a big one. It is a big one. Probably unsportsmanlike conduct or necessary roughness. That's what it was. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Vikings. They get the ball at the Raider 19 following a pass completion and a 15-yard penalty. Shotgun still. Wolf takes the snap, wants to pass again. Heads toward a corner of the end zone, and it's going to be knocked away. Good coverage. That time by the Raiders. 2nd down and 10. Wolf was trying to find Curtis On the corner of the end zone. Raiders tapped it away. Clock will stop on the incomplete pass, of course. So the Raiders can go to a full huddle. Still in the shotgun, 4 receivers. Wolf to pass again. And it's going to be knocked away. We've got a flag, though. Looking to find On down the middle of the field. Got a flag about the 16-yard line. They're discussing it all of a sudden here. I think it's against the offense. We'll wait for the call. And you can see, not a good play. pass was knocked away. The penalty will go against the Raiders. They'll mark it off. 10 yards. Moves the ball inside the 10-yard line. First and goal. Ball will be at the 10-yard line. Still the shotgun. 4 receivers. Wolf to pass again. Pumps again. Now he runs. Tucks it underneath. Scrambles on the inside. Gets inside the 5-yard line. And he's run down along with the official. Or one official just went down and got caught in the pile. And as well as Wolf. So Wolf got caught in that pile. You take a look at it. Wolf wanted to pass it, as you can see, but he had good coverage. Now he kept it, and he just scrambles his way inside the 5. That official got in the way. So they'll reset the ball. It'll be inside the 5-yard line. Second down and goal. Ball in just inside the 5.
First and goal, Vikings.
Or rather, first and goal, all right, following the penalty. The Vikings have to have a touchdown. This is 4-down territory no matter what. Into the eye, Garza with the handoff, kicks it outside, and then breaks one tackle, gets down to about the 2 before he's buried underneath a whole bunch of white shirts.
The 56, Daniel Ramos.
Second down and goal.
Also number 8, Gabriel Gonzalez.
Ball down at the 3. Time is ticking away here for the Vikings. Timeout called here on the field. We have an injury. So with just minutes remaining in this football game, it remains the Rivera Raiders 28, the Pace Vikings 7. 7:54 remaining in the game. Second and goal, ball at the 3. Vikings knocking on the door. They need to put something on the board now. Into the eye. Garza again straight ahead. They're waiting on him. They know he's coming. Everybody in the whole ballpark knows he's coming. And he gets taken down at the 2-yard line. Picked up a yard. He's down. He's down on his back. We have an injury timeout here. We have about 7:50 remaining in this ball game. Rivera leads by a score 28-7 over the Pace Vikings. On the replay, it looked like Alexis Garza just went down on his back and just went down hard. It looked like he had the wind knocked out of him. He walked off the field under his own power, so that's good. Third down and goal, ball at the 1-yard line. And not this time. Boy, they're going to drop him back for a big loss. They came around with a new running back, and he just never had the opportunity to get the thing going. That was Jacob Alvarado. So it's going to bring up a 4th and goal. And the ball will be back at the 4-yard line. And you can see there just was nothing there. Not a thing. 4th and goal, ball at the 4. And you can see he was dropped for a big loss. It's almost like that the Raiders were back in the huddle and heard that play call. No choice here. You have to go for it. If you're the Vikings, you have everything on the line. You've got to go for it. 5 receivers, Wolf, and he goes into the corner. It's going to be knocked away, and it's going to be incomplete, and the Raider defense has stepped up and held here